talk about what you need to know as a beginner if you want to do business. And let's get started. Now, when you want to start a business, you must be have that entrepreneurial mindset and know what comes about when you start a business, because a business is it's like a little baby that needs to be nourished, and it's like you're growing something from the bottom. Unless you've inherited a business, but when you want to start a business, it's like a seed that you're planting. So you have the same way you prepare the soil, get the correct seed, and make sure you have enough water for the seed to grow into a seedling, and the seedling to go to a plant. It's the same things that you require when you are starting a business. There are those basic things that you need to do, the foundations that you need to put in place to ensure that you are creating a successful business and avoid the normal business failures. So you go into the business when you are prepared, and I'm here to help you through on the factors that you need to look at. Now let us start with why you're getting into the business. Why do you want to get into business? Why do you want to get into business? Why? Are you employed? Because you need to configure some things when you are going to start a business. Are you employed or unemployed? So those are some things maybe we can talk about, that you can prepare yourself into the business world. Now, because there's a different mindset when you are employed and when you are starting your own business. When you are employed, there's someone else who is handling the business part of it. Now, when you shift to be a business owner, now you'll be the one who is handling the business part. So you need to know what is the background and run it and own it. So now you start planning to be an owner. And once you become an owner, the responsibilities are solely yours. They are solely yours. It's solely on you. So you need to make sure that you are set. So let us start to think about what you want to sell. Do you want to sell a product or a service? What are you good at? Let us look at what are you good at. Ask yourself, do I like selling products? Or do I like doing things for people? Let's start there. That is going to differentiate you, to help you to know if you are going to sell a product or a service. You might think you want to sell a service, but in the real sense, that is not your field. Or you might be wanting to sell a product, yet your skill set is majorly on the service. So it's good to check on your skills. So your skill set is going to guide you to know if you want to go into service business or product business. Now let us talk about the skills. the good thing with skills, these are things that you can learn. So you can decide today, I'm going to learn to do barbering. You can actually go and learn that skill. You can say, I'm going to open a restaurant. You can learn how to do catering, food, be a chef, know how to make food. You can learn. That's a skill you can learn. You can say, I want to be a makeup artist, and you can go and learn. There are people who are teaching the skill, or you can even do the self-taught. So some of these things are even self-taught. So you can teach yourself how. You can log into applications where people are sharing this education for free. We have applications like Skillshare, we have YouTube. All this information, you won't lack someone who has shared their skill set out there. You will definitely find what you are looking for. It's a matter of you wanting to learn, and be patient to learn, and give yourself that time to learn that skill set, because now that is going to be and it's like an investment to your business. Now, another skill that something else about a skill is knowing how to run a business. Those are some of the skills that as you go to start a business, you need to equip yourself. You need to know how to register a business name. You need to know what is required, maybe to put up a shop. You just know, go ask someone maybe who has a shop, what they have done in terms of the legal matters. Maybe they need a business permit, how it's done, all those things. You definitely just ask someone who is doing the same thing and has a shop. You say, okay, what is required of me? Maybe those things that you need to pay, because different industries have different requirements according to the law, depending on the level and the type of business that you are working, because of the licenses required. So you need to know, because it's good to know what you are getting yourself into. Learn, ask. There's nothing wrong with asking the people who are already doing it. The other one is those you need to develop skills of sales. The sales skills is one of a requirement when you are in business. I don't see any person in business that is not doing sales, because how are you going to sell that product? How are you going to conduct business if you don't know how to sell? That is the first skill that you need to equip yourself with. And this one comes with communication skills. Communication. This one entails a lot of communication. Communication, whether verbally or written. Whether verbal or written, you need to know how to go about it, because you will need to talk to your customers persuasively and be comfortable talking to strangers. You need to have confidence to approach people that you will turn them into clients, because you'll be able to approach them and tell them, hey, I'm selling this and this product. Will you be able to buy from me? Can you buy it from me? You need to be able to persuade that customer. So you need to have that confidence to approach a stranger to buy your product, whether online, whether one-on-one. But this is a communication skill set that is going to help you in your sales. And this is a day-to-day activity for any person who is in business. Because if you open a shop, you need to talk to your clients. There's no way you're going to sell unless, even if before you even get to a website, even a website, you also need to have communication skills of writing nice captivating things that's going to attract the customer to buy your products. Those are communication skills that you need to develop. That's why in most schools, those people who have gone to colleges or universities, communication skill is a common unit for everybody to learn, because it's required out here, and especially if you're a business person. And I insist on sales. Sales is what is going to determine if you are going to kick off that business that you have in mind. So I insist on you developing your sales skills, and this is something that you can practice. Start practicing with your friends. That's how you develop the confidence. When you have group meetings with your friends, be able to share your thoughts, and that's how you develop the confidence to speak to people. That is one of them. And take up all opportunities that you can find to break that shyness, and able to express yourself. You can even do it in the mirror. That is a must skill if you want to start a business. So you have to develop that communication skill and confidence. Now, also, when you are going to do sales, you need to also know the kind of clients that you are going to meet. That one means you dress the part. Those are normal. These are now, it's a grooming skill, as part of the sales skill set. You are going to meet a client who is in an office or whatever it is. You have to look the part. Whatever you are selling, that is a skill set also. Knowing how to present yourself as you're going to make your sales. Those are the things you need to learn. Now, the other skill that I want you to look at is the business processing skills. Now, those business processing skills, the good thing is you'll be able to learn them online if you're able to put your mind to it, and it is you need it. For example, you need to know if you are going to purchase, what is expected, the documents required for purchasing, how to fill in those documents, how to do invoicing the correct way, because you cannot do business by just the word of mouth. You need to record transactions. You need to record transactions. So you need to learn how to do the the record keeping, and writing the transactions. So those are basic things to learn. So you go learn about invoicing, purchasing, ordering. Just see how you fill in those documents, receipts, because you'll be needed to write a receipt to a client. You'll be required to write an invoice to a client. You need to write an order to a client, to your supplier. These are basic business skill that you need to do before you get yourself an accountant who can do that one for you. Even if you get an accountant, you need to know these basic business skills that you don't have. Now the other one is we have talked about sales. As before I finish on the sales, I want to talk about when you give yourself a name. You need to know how you're going to name your business. What kind of industry you are, you name it, and be inclusive. Don't limit yourself when you're getting a name. If you are selling things for household, you can't just say plate shop. You need to be inclusive. Just an example, you need to know how to come up with a correct name, and that is one of the way of branding yourself. You're going to introduce yourself. I'm so and so. This is my company. This is my business name. This is what I sell. That is part of the sales. You need to brand yourself. Even how you package your product. Packaging, what does it mean? How you pack your items to your clients. What is in the labels? That is just one of the things to think about. You plan, because you are planning on how you're going to start your business. You're actually planning. So these are the things that you need to teach yourself. Those skills, they'll come in handy. Now, let's talk about you figuring out now the product that you want to go and sell. You need to be very clear what it is that you want to sell or make. That is something that many entrepreneurs they don't want to niche down. It's called niching down. Niche down. Knowing exactly what product and who is it meant for. Then you design that product. You design. If you are making, if you are the one who is making, you be specific on the design, the color, the size, the fabric, the materials, that you can be able to make yourself unique. Because there's other people maybe selling the same product in the market. So you have to have something that is unique, or a different kind of value that you're adding, because I'm sure you're not selling something that is you have invented. You're just adding to what is already there in the market. So you will need to find out now if you are buying and selling. Is this product, are you going to be buying and selling? That means you'll be buying from a wholesaler and now you'll be the retailer. Or if you decide now, if you make for yourself, you make. If you make for yourself, then maybe, it's a craft. If you're making things, you need to know materials that you're going to need. What materials are you going to need? And how do you want that finished product to look like? That is the design I was talking about. You need to know exactly what you need. You need to have that product in your, you have that picture in your mind. What product is it that you want to sell? Now, how do you get the idea? You can go to the applications and get ideas. You can go to places like Pinterest, along all the social media platforms, you get ideas. You be inspired. You're getting inspired of, you look at something and you say, okay, yeah, that is the kind of product I would want to sell. What product would you want to sell? You'll be able to get it by what you are inspired. If you are inspired by bags, if you are inspired by, home decor, clothes, it depends. If you are inspired by electronics, whatever inspires you, now you get into it and now find that opportunity that is in that sector. That's how you get your ideas. There are so many ideas currently for craft people that you can literally just make products even from your home. And the only thing I'll tell you is to remember to niche down. What is niching down? This one is being specific to who you are tailoring that product to. You need to know exactly who you want to sell to, who and where, what. You need to be specific in terms of maybe it is age. You need to be specific. Just niche down, and that is going to give you one line that is going to help you figure out quickly how to kick off your business, because you already know who you are going to sell to. That is the best way to look at it. And now this person that you are niching down to, make sure that person is willing to buy. Willing to buy in terms of they can afford it. Can they afford it? One thing, as you are thinking, are they able to afford it? Is there demand? When you're starting a business, you need to find a product that has demand. What is demand? Demand is where there are many people who need it. They are looking for it. A lot of people are looking for that product. They need it maybe every day. That item is needed. That is going to guarantee you that you're going to stay in business. The most successful businesses are the ones that have demand. For example, the people in the phone industry who are selling phones, they'll always have clients. We need the phones. The only difference now is the type of phone. That's why now the entrepreneurs decide what type of phone. They decide what type of people to target. But the market to make phones is there. The demand is very high. So you look for products that have demand. Basic things have demand. Basic things have demand. For example, the daily items, they have demand. So you look at what is it that many people are going to use it. A lot of people are going to use. If you limit yourself, you'll have a problem when you're going to kick off your business, and especially if it's your first business. And point of view, starting a business and failing is part of learning. is part of learning. Why? Because you have to learn. It doesn't mean that because you have tried this one, it has not worked out. That means now I'm not good in business, I'm going to quit. No. It just didn't work out. So you learn, you know now what not to engage in. You have to learn. And the people who are doing successful in business right now, they have tried several businesses until they got that one. So it doesn't mean that now now that we are talking about the perfect way of identifying the correct type of product to invest in, it has to work out. No. Sometimes there's reality on the ground. So what you do is now, as an entrepreneur, we are persistent. Once you get into business, you must be persistent, patient, and you don't give up. You go for the next opportunity that you see. And you have to have an eye for opportunity. As an entrepreneur, as you're getting into business, you must learn to have this eye for opportunity. You can quickly know where, because the one way of knowing that this is a business idea is when there's a problem that you are solving. Because people need something. We say people need it. So we are solving something for people. That's how you're going to get yourself the business idea. And then another advice is, those boring ideas that you think are boring are actually very good ideas. Those products you think it's a lot of work, as long as it's going to pay, that's a business. As long as you know there are people who need it, that's the way to go. Now the other one, we have touched on sales and marketing. We have talked about niching down. That means don't be broad. Don't be broad. Be specific on the product, the person, age, color. Just niche very down. Even size, you niche down. Be very specific. We have talked about business skills that you need to know. Now what we need to also talk about is, when you are getting that product that you want to sell, there are things also you need to consider. The time that you're going to need to create that product. Time and money are very... Time and money, these are limited resources. So you have to know how to balance them. The quicker it is to make that product, the quicker it is for it to give you money. So when you're thinking of which product to sell, think about which is that product is quick for you to make, or is easier for you to access, to buy. Are suppliers near you? Do you have suppliers for your products near you? Because, for example, decide to get into imported items. You say to import items for you to imported items for you to sell. The time at which you're going to, between importing and selling, there is time involved here. This one is going to cost you money, because clients might want the items and you don't have the items ready. So that is going to cost you money. So if you decide to get into the importing of items business, there's a factor that is going to affect you is time. Between the time your products that you have you have finished them and the time of reordering them from your supplier and the time that the clients want them, so those are the factors that you need to look at when you're deciding what type of product you are going to sell. We have said that bookkeeping is very important. You need to learn that skill set. Now, another thing that you've not talked about when you're starting your business is strategy. Now, strategy. When you're starting your business, you need to figure out the vision for that business. How do you want it to grow? To grow into? What do you want to grow that business into? Because eventually, the vision for any business is to grow that business. How far do you want to grow it? So what you do, you start small, you start very small, but the vision should be big. Let the vision be big, something that you can grow into, but very small, because you don't know how that business is going to turn out and the mistakes that you're going to learn. For example, you might think of starting stocking some products, but those products are not moving, and yet you have put a lot of resources there, and the customers, their products as the customer is asking for, and you have not stocked, but you have tied down all your capital in stock that is not moving, and you bought a lot of it. So your business is going to fail, not because they are not customers, but you have stocked the wrong item. But when you're able to start small, you will be able to learn, understand what the customers want, and then now you can be able to move with them. You start stocking what they are asking. You start stocking now what customers are asking, what they are asking. And even if it's a product that you are making yourself, you will keep adjusting to the client needs until you tailor it, until it is up to par with what their customers want. Maybe it's the color, maybe it's the size, maybe it's the design, until you can see this is what the clients want, and then now you can make much of that. But if you start very big, adjusting it is going to cost you your investment. And that's why you also have, when you're starting small, you can start even from your home. You can start selling items from your home. That means you have cut down the cost of rent and other things and other costs. So you start very small. Many of these businesses that have become multinational businesses have grown from a garage. So the beginning is not what really matters, is the vision. How big is that vision that you have for your big business? What is it that you want to sell is what is going to matter. Now let us talk about the pricing. When you start your business, you need to take care of the price that you put in your business. Don't price low, too low. If you price too low, you'll not be able to grow your business. You'll not be able to keep up with the expenditure of that business. And then you'll not be able to make the clients to buy from you in like if you want to increase your prices frequently, it's going to give you a problem for the clients to adjust. So start with a reasonable price that is reasonable for you with your competition, because probably you're not the only one selling that product. So your product should be able to be able to have a share in the market, but at the same time let it be reasonable, so that margin is going to help you cover your costs. It's not just a matter of making sales, it's make sure that you have covered your cost and you're making a profit that you can be able to grow that business and sustain it for a rainy day. And then when you are starting also, you need to have enough capital. Enough capital that you don't spend all of it. You don't spend the whole capital that you have put in place or set aside to start your business. Why? Because in the first stages of the business, you may not make sales because that is time you're trying to figure out what exactly your customer is or what they want. You know, they are learning what you are selling. So between the time of you identifying what the customer want and then the customers knowing you are selling your products, between that time you still need to have expenses and they need to be covered, and you'll not be making money. So you'll still be going back to the money that you have set aside for your capital. That's why you find someone has put up a shop, they didn't put up money aside, and then you have 6 months down the line or 3 months rent they have not paid, and they just started, and they expect you within 3 months that business has kicked off. It's not really realistic. Some are lucky to do it, but you have to give it time for that curve. You know, there's a curve for the business. For people to identify you are selling, I need to acquire customers. So that is something that many business owners who are starting, they overlook. Unless you have questions, you can ask questions on the comment section, and then I'll gladly help you before we finish this afternoon session. And remember to register your business. Remember to register your business. Don't operate a business without a name, because this is part of branding. This is part of branding. Think about how people are going to identify you. This is a way of identifying you. If everyone is selling books, they need to know they are buying books from who, that they can know to differentiate you from the rest. And then you need to also learn from the competition or the people who are already doing the business that you are doing. It's good to observe the already doing well businesses, the already established businesses. You learn from them. Look at what they are doing. If you want to see people who are selling pens, how are they doing it? Learn. Some things are really not new. Understand what you do is add value, do something better. Maybe they are far away from their clients. Now you take that opportunity that you have found that you can reach the customer faster. That's how you identify that business opportunity. Now let's talk about capital and the sources. There are businesses that you will not need a lot of capital or even no capital. Especially online, there are people who are operating businesses, have created brand names without a lot of capital. Where you create a name and then you're able to get money, business using that brand name. Now, then another way of creating a business with little capital is things like crafts that you can even do yourself, the DIY and sell. These are small businesses that you can learn and start from. The others are not the ones that we have no shops. You have people who have put up shop. You can decide to put up a shop. Now, the capital sources is you need to have money saved or you are working. The reality of creating a business is you need to pump it. You need to pump that business. You need money for that. You need money to pump that business. And I'm sure when you're starting that business, you also have other expenses, personal expenses that you need to pay. Now you cannot open a shop today and you want profit today, that profit is going to pay for your house rent where you are living. That is not logical. No, it's not. It's not. Does not apply that way. It's like a seed. I said a business is like you're planting a seed, waiting for it to grow. So you are nurturing. You need to nurture it. You need to put up. You need to give it money. And where is the money coming from? If you don't have money, you need to get the money. How? Sometimes you need to go work, get the money, and then put up aside that money and start that business idea that you have. Sometimes you could use money that you've been given by your family. I wouldn't advise you to start a business with loans, because the problem with that is when you have not done that business again, the business is not operating, and you don't know how that business is going to turn up, how long it's gonna take before you break even. Breaking even is when the business you're able to do even sales and meet the expenses. It's not very advisable to do that. That is one of the reasons why some business fail. It's not because it cannot be done, but the resources were not enough. That's why I encourage people to start very small. Thank you so much for joining in. and tuning in. I hope you've learned something. You can leave a comment or a like. See you our next live.